What's up, guys? Oh, shoot. That's going to bother me the whole freaking time. Hopefully, I'll be back. And I'm back. All right. All right. I'm back. We're working on a track by Grip. In fact, we recorded the verses in... Okay, we recorded all the vocals in the studio, but I've got a video of us recording the verses and how our process, kind of takes place in the studio here. So that'll be uploaded when I'm done editing it. I'm only about 10% of the way through. It's like a 2-hour video, so it's going to be long. I don't think I'll put the whole thing up on YouTube. I'm about to unlock memberships, and I'll put the whole thing behind the membership, but there'll be snippets of it on YouTube here. Anyway, let's get to the rest of the track here. I got a few things to do, and we're going to master it. Depending on how long it takes, we might move on to another track, but probably not. This will probably take up the entire time because of the little things I have to do in the mix. And then usually when I export it into the master, we're going to go back and forth from the mix to the master a little bit to where I get the waveform and everything sounding just the way I like it. All right, let's get into it. All right. Where were we? There was a lot that has been added since the last time we worked on this. Let's just play what we got here, okay? Ready? Oh, I should probably do this. Okay, so there's a skit in the beginning. There's this skit in the beginning that we're going to redo. So I will mute this and shut that off for now. I'm just going to minimize everything here. Okay. Here we are. So like I said, this track was produced by the beat was made by someone else. So we're giving him partial producer credit on this because, as you can see, a lot of the things I kept the same except for this kick, obviously. This kick, I divided it up and got the phase correct. And I think this is my own kick. No, it might be his kick. But nevertheless, I made it jive with the 808 here. See how I cut the beginning of the 808 out for the beginning of the kick? It's real nice. There's some phase issues happening there, but it's not going to interfere with anything because they're in two different frequency parts. All right. Oh yeah, let's go work on this part because I was working on this. Oh, let's play the beginning. Hold on.
You spoil yo.
Did you hear that?
You so spoiled, bro.
Hold on, we're gonna double that. We're gonna flatten this, and now I'm gonna zoom in here. See his mouth clicks here?
You spoil yo. You spoil yo. You so spoiled, baby. You spoil you riding. You spoil, baby. You spoil you riding.
I don't know if it should be right there. Maybe it should be like right. Ooh.
You spoil you riding. You so spoiled, baby. You spoil you riding.
Turn that up. Let's grab a glue compressor. I'm gonna grab a glue compressor, and I've got it set to soft clip. And I've enabled oversampling right here so that the glue compressor can act as a soft clipper. And I'm going to turn the clip gain of this part up a little bit.
You spoiled, you rotten,
Hold on.
you so spoiled, baby. You spoiled, you rotten,
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
you spoiled, you rotten, and all of your partners. The way your paper watch up, think you got a scholar. Your nails, heels, paper, how you live in the club on the weekend. Niggas putting in the gigs, looking like a bag of money. Shake that ass and put it up. Niggas. Niggas.
Okay.
On the weekend, niggas, looking like a bag of money. Shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me. You a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money. Shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me. You a spoiled little one. If a player can't drop the bag, you gon' throw a fit. You the type that.
Okay, so now this is all chopped up and kind of perfect here. So what I want to do, this is the trick here. So take this, I unfreeze this, right? We go into Melodyne after we drop another Melodyne here. Okay, I'm going to drop another Melodyne on this one. I'm going to put it before the limiter, all right? Okay, and we're just going to transfer this part in there, all right?
If a player can't drop the bag, you gon' throw a fit. You the type that wanna brag about everything you get, but I ain't him or the lames that you used to dealing with. Yeah, you bad, but baby girl should know that I'm the pit. You used to trips around the world and I ain't mad at you. Faster than the VIP girl, if you pay, that's all that matters. You was taking out designer like Rihanna, but you find her. Yeah, like diamonds change the climate. I just met you, keep on trying.
Okay. Now that's transferred in there. Melodic redetect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this one and line it up with this one. I knew it was not on time. Shut off active grid. Alright, make sure you shut off active grid. Otherwise you're just going to have a bunch of weird shit. Okay. As you can see, I'm moving very carefully with what I'm doing. I want it to be like exact. So I might even zoom in further like this. You know? Because that's how it's done perfectly. You know, I don't... I feel like a lot of people don't know the importance of this. This is very important. And once you realize how important, you'll eventually want to do this to every single track that you do. Got an email. That's not an email, that's a right now email. I'll just say that. And see, I'm just lining it up. That's all I'm doing. Because this is the same vocal. I just chopped it using Ableton's algorithm.
but I ain't him or the lames that. Or the lames that you used to deal.
Oh, we're so close to being done with this little part here. And, you know, good things take time. It takes a lot of time to perfect this stuff. You can't just do it in a quick go. Let's see what this is. I like it. I'll take it. Perfect. As you can see, I'm just following the natural order of where it's supposed to go. Now that I've lined it up in Ableton, I can take the Ableton version, bring it into Melodyne, and use Melodyne's algorithms, which are way freaking better. Just saying. Now we're going to exit this and only play this.
If a player can't drop the bag, you gon' throw a fit. You the type that want to
Fit. Sometimes it might sound weird.
You gon' throw a fit. You the type that. You the type. You gon' throw a fit. You the type that want to brag about everything you get, but I ain't him or the lames that you
It
use.
sounded a little late.
Everything you get, but I ain't him. You gon' throw a fit. You the type that want to brag about everything you get, but I ain't him or the. You gon' throw a fit. You the type that want to brag about everything you get, but I ain't him or the.
Everything.
Thing you get.
That's where it is.
You gon'
It's a little lag.
everything you get, but I ain't him or the.
Perfect.
You gon' throw a fit. You the type that want to brag about everything you get, but I ain't him or the lames that you used to dealing with. Yeah, you bad, but baby girl should know that I'm the pit. Baby girl should know that I'm.
It seems like a whole thing.
You gon' throw a fit. With yeah, you bad, but baby girl should know that I'm the pit.
That was not what I wanted to do.
With yeah, you bad, but baby girl should know that I'm the pit.
And bring this back.
With yeah, you bad, but baby girl should know that I'm the pit. You used to trips around the world and I ain't mad at you. Faster than the VIP girl, if you paid, it's all that matters. Keep you great, then I'll designer like Rihanna, but you find her. Yeah, my diamonds change the climate. I just meant you keep on trying. Hell in the with.
Freeze track. I really like what's going on. I'm gonna grab a glass of water while I'm waiting for that to freeze.
Since
All right. Big glass of water. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so now that I got that frozen, I want to double this. We're going to delete Melodyne on the double. Right? So we don't need it anymore. Wait, this one. Good. Now we got a full... I got no reverb on this?
You gon' throw a fit.
How much reverb do I
If
need?
a player can't drop the bag, you gon' throw a fit. You the type that wanna brag about everything you get, but I ain't him or the names that you used to dealing with. Yeah, you bad, but baby girl should know that I'm the pit. You used to trips around the world and I ain't mad at you. Faster than the VIP girl, if you pay, it's all that matters.
All right. On a side note, I gotta say something here quick. Okay, so if you notice that these verses are extremely clean. All right, they're radio friendly. Now, the original version wasn't like this, and I want to make note of this because I got a video that we're planning to do where he's going to explain how on the spot he cleans up his vocals so that they could be more marketable for radio releases instead of having to, you know, blank out every little swear word or word that can't be, you know, aired on the radio without getting a fine. Anyway, that's just a little thing I had to say. There's a video coming up. It's going to be awesome. It's going to explain about how rappers can take, you know, their, you know, explicit lyrics and clean it up a little bit with some clever vocabulary. You know what I mean? So when we record the original dirty version, I will release that one on YouTube as well, so you guys can see the difference. All right. Anyway, back to what we were doing. So now we got a good clean copy of this, and I like it how it's intimate with the ad-libs right here. So listen.
If a player can't drop the bag, you gon' throw a fit. You the type that wanna brag about everything you get, but I ain't him or the names that you used to dealing with. Yeah, you bad, but baby girl should know that I'm the pit. You used to trips around the world and I ain't mad at you. Faster than the VIP girl, if you paid, it's all that matters. Keep you great, then I'll designer like Rihanna, but you find her. Yeah, my diamonds change the climate. I just met you, keep on trying. Hard as hell in the pics, in my DMs that you sent. Since I'm open out, I see how you pay the rent. The tippers ain't tripping, and they tricking if you got it. Keep your hands in the wallet close to your poppy's pocket. You think you working bag, just come out on your way to copy. You ain't tripping on what it costs, cause your man got it. You just tell him all the things you want, and the man gon' drop it. You just spoil acting like a brat, girl, you need to stop it. You spoil it, you rotten, and all of your partners, the way you pay.
There's some different stuff happening right here. Let's listen.
Gonna drop it, you to spoil like a... Gonna drop it, you to spoil acting like a brat, girl, you need...
Where's the original vocal for this? Is it like here? It's here, isn't it?
Gonna drop it, you to spoil acting like a brat. Gonna drop it, you to spoil acting like a brat. Gonna drop it, you to spoil acting like a brat.
How does that sound good with that though?
Gonna drop it, you to spoil like a... But you to spoil...
I don't think we need that.
Gonna drop it, spoil like a... Man gon' drop it, you to spoil acting like a brat. Girl, you need to stop it. The man gon' drop it, you to spoil acting like a brat. Girl, you need to stop it. You spoil it, you rotten, and all of your partners. The way your paper watch up, think you got a scholar. Here lay hands in, paper how you live in the club on the weekend. Niggas putting in the digs, looking like a bag of money. Shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me. You a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money. Shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me.
Okay, I want to point out some stuff here. So these aren't just three the same vocal.
Looking like a bag of money. Shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me.
See, all that doesn't sound good on its own, but then with this,
Looking like a shake that. Now you wanna.
and notice how, okay, so you hear the reverb really bloom on those power phrases. I'm just kind of accenting those words, if you will, and using those words to trigger the reverb space. This is something I do in almost every track. I'll use the power phrases or the enunciation words, harmonies, something stabby that's only intermittent, like maybe even a snare too, to create some space in the mix. It's just something I like doing that I've really liked the results of. You know what I mean? It's not as the reverb doesn't drown out the vocals as much. And then I don't gotta side chain it to the vocals, even though it kind of is just a little bit.
Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. I know you spoiled now, the shopping streets at the mall. You the belle at the bar, when you step in they paws. Red bottom, hand peg, Gucci diamonds in your ear. Chandelier on your neck, brighten up the atmosphere. Close encounters with the third kind. I see you like your head, sipping on Belair like a player, trying to get out of here. Both waiting at the pier, champagne spraying in the air. You thought it was the same year, it ain't the same year. Almost for you a lot different, cause my time is real expensive. Don't be asking about my business, cause we Netflix and we kick it. You a good catch, your fit in your car match. Want me to show out, let me see where your heart at. I'm spoiled too, you spoil me, and I spoil you. I'm the type of boss that you should always be loyal to. You want it all to play your cards right, and you could get it for sure. It's the low spoil from the deco in your kitchen, you spoil yo.
Okay, I want to point something out here now. Okay, so look. So I drop everything out here, and I've got the bass and the piano playing. Let's do this, this, and this. We need the drums playing still too. Let's Okay, now listen to the bass content here.
You spoil me, and I spoil you. I'm the type of
Hold on. We're just listening to just the piano now. All right, so what changed was this lower octave that I've added down here. The reason I've done that is because the bass and the kick, let's grab a snare too. Why isn't this snare playing through the whole time? This should always just be playing through the whole time the snare is being played for. There. Hear the bass? Hear the bass in the piano now? But it is less of it. Oh, that's kind of hard by itself, isn't it? All right. So where did we resample down here? And we resampled all the way down here, didn't we? Let's do it again.
How you pay the rent? Pay the tippers ain't tripping, ain't tricking if you got it, keep it.
Okay, so now we're gonna evaluate.
You spoil yo. You so spoiled, baby. You spoil, you ride, and all of your partners. The way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar. Your nails, deals, paper, how you live. In the club on the weekend, niggas floating in the gears. Looking like a bag of money. I ain't him or the lames that you used to dealing with. Yeah, you're bad, but baby girl should know that I'm the pit. You used to trips around the world and I ain't mad at you. Faster than the VIP girl, if you paid, it's all that matters. Keep you great, then I was
Okay, now once we get up here, we'll see in a minute. Okay, that's good enough. Let's zoom in, and what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to raise the clip gain of this and see what it looks like. Okay, so as you can see, the kick is really overpowering pretty much everything. We're going to zoom in right here, not up there. Look at that. That's all just kick energy. You see what I'm saying? That's all kick energy down there. So we need to lower the kick while somehow maintaining its power. Does that make sense? All right. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. We don't need this no more. We don't need this. We can put this to 0. Overall, everything looks good. The waveform looks very consistent except for the kick, which is what I was afraid of. But I want that kick to be that prominent in the mix. So let's listen to it against the bass. Let's resample the kick and the bass together. So, what I want to do now is I want to just make a new track with just the kick. All right? It looks like these sections are the same here. So I'm literally going to copy and paste. I'm going to unlink this track, though. We don't need that track linked. We are going to just focus on these bass, these kicks right here. So this is the original kick pattern. And some of these hits are out of phase with the bass. And that's why I've created these 2 kick tracks, which play together to create one kick track. Wow. Blah! I can't speak today, guys. I'm dying. Ugh. You ready for this? All right, group 50. Okay, we're actually going to start back here. All right, now you're going to learn how to properly process a kick. Because that's what we're going to do right now. So this is now muted. We don't need that anymore. We're going to copy and paste this everywhere there's a... Okay, so now I've made a perfectly in-phase kick with the bass here. Let's put them together. It's not perfect, but it sounds the best, all right? As you can see, wherever the kick hit, wherever the transient part of the kick was, I just deleted the bass. And that's because I just had trouble getting it in phase with itself. As you can see, this is as close to in phase as you're going to get. That's really good. So I did that with all of these kicks here. I spent a lot of time on it. And based on the waveform here and here are way different. See, all three of these 808s not only sound different, they look different. The waveform starts in a different spot on all of these. And some of them are scrunched together, some of them are spaced out, which means they're different notes. And that's okay. And it's sounding great right now. It's sounding great, but we got to make this kick more prominent. Well, here, we're going to resample too. We're going to double check what we're doing. This is like the most intense part of getting the low end to sit right. It's difficult, all right? Spent a long time learning this process here. Okay, let me think what I want to do to this kick. First of all, let's grab a glue compressor. We're going to clip it first, all right? I'm going to take this. We're going to join them all as one. So now that when I'm editing this, like when I'm editing this whole track, by joining all of these clips together, I can focus as it's just one clip. I like to work smart, not have to copy and paste things after I've made a bunch of stuff. And it's unfortunate with vocals, you pretty much do have to copy and paste stuff. But this right here, since I've already copied and pasted everything together, I want to work on it as a whole. And I'm always going to do Complex Pro because I like the way it sounds the best. Okay. Now let's raise the clip gain on this to a ridiculous amount to where it shaves off that top right there. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking to make an even waveform. Just kind of cut that part off the tops. All right? Now, will it sound good? Who knows? We're going to try to make it sound as good as we can while also getting more headroom. Now you hear that thump, huh? All right, so now what we're going to do, we'll take another track. And Ableton just likes to be a dick. Minus 2.3. Okay. Okay. So, I'm going to freeze this. I'm not going to flatten it. I keep every stage. So I can go back in and work on it. It's not permanent. Does that make sense? I'm committing to the audio, but it's like a soft commit, if that makes any sense at all. And this, oh, nice. Look at this. Okay. Now let's see how much headroom we've created. Look at that. Okay, now Greasy Will going live. He's one of my favorite creators on TikTok. I have things going on right now, Greasy.
and all of your partners. The way your paper watch, y'all think you got a scholar. Here ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend. Niggas putting in the gigs.
Okay, now we're gonna take this and this, and we're gonna ooh, look at that. You see that? Kick is way overpowering the bass. So now we turn this down. That looks like a nice, even waveform. It's still a little too much. Let's turn it down -5. Let's try that. Turn this off, mute that.
The way your paper watch, y'all think you got a scholar. Here ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend. Niggas putting in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money. Shake that.
What was I grabbing? What was I grabbing? I haven't added anything to this yet? What? Oh my gosh. We're going to add some fun now. Some flavor.
And all of your partners.
A little too meaty there. Let's double. Bring it down to 98. All right. Too much bass. Okay. Probably this one.
You spoil you ride, and all of your partners. The way your paper watch, y'all think you got a scholar. Here ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend. Niggas putting in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money. Shake that ass and put it on it. Now you want a honey from me. You a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money. Shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me. You a spoiled little one. If a player can't drop the bag. You spoil you ride, and all of your partners. The way your paper watch, y'all think you got a scholar. Here ladies. You spoil you ride, and all of your partners. The way your paper watch, y'all think you got a scholar. Here ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend. Niggas putting in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money. Shake that ass and put it.
I want to see how it sounds or how it looks when we get to this point. We're really gonna see how this sounds.
If a player can't drop the bag, you gon' throw a fit. You the type that wanna brag about everything you get, but I ain't him or the lames that you used to dealing with. Yeah, you're bad, but baby girl should know that I'm the pit. You used to trips around the world, and I ain't mad at you. Faster than the VIP, girl, if you paid, it's all that matters. Keep it straight, then I'll design it like
I think it's a little too milky on the low end. Let's double check with isotope. I know I've got an instance of ozone right here, but that's because I was using it to do like a pre-master.
You spoiled, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, here ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend, niggas putting in the gigs.
So a little too much low end. Maybe I just need to take a little off the top.
You spoiled, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, here ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend, niggas putting in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag.
I didn't even use isotope, did I? Let's put it in before here and let's see what's happening before and then after the wave. After the...
You spoiled, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, here ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend, niggas putting in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one.
Okay, you see what I did there? They both have their own space now.
You spoiled, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, here ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend, niggas putting in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. If a play you spoiled, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, here ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend, niggas putting in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. If a player can't drop and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, here ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend, niggas putting in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. If a player can't drop the bag, you gon' throw a fit. You the ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend, niggas putting in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled
Okay,
little one.
so if you see right here is a big bump, there's a little dip right here. That's the reason this works right here. Play it again.
And all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a
Balancing an
scholar,
EQ.
here ladies,
I could probably use a good dip around 200 in the bass area, but that is more of a mastering thing that I'm going to do. And I know that I want to do that already as it is because there's a little bit of a build up there, and it'll make the low end sit better. So I think we're gonna resample this because it's pretty much done. We're gonna resample this and see how it looks in the waveform, and then we're gonna export it, and then I'm gonna master it. We got 15, 25. We'll stretch it out as long as I need to. All right, let's resample.
The bag, you gon' throw a fit. You the type that wanna brag about everything you
I'm
get.
the backhand here.
Now you want honey from me, you a spoiled. I know you spoiled and all. The shop is freeze at the mall. You the bell at the bar. When you step in, they pause. Red bottom, hand peg, Gucci diamonds in your ear, chandelier on your neck, brighten up the atmosphere. Close encounters with my third kind. See you like you're here, sipping on Belair like a player, trying to get out of here. Both waiting at the pier, champagne spraying in the air. You thought it was the same year, it ain't the same year. Always for you a lot different, cause my time is real expensive. Don't be asking about my business, cause we Netflix and we kick it. You were...
I feel like I need more click in the kick. We can do two things here, okay? What I can do is I can take this, take a track. We're gonna actually delete that. We're gonna take a MIDI track, okay? So this is important, all right? Got 3 MIDI tracks, all right? 3 MIDI tracks. If it ever loads. Okay, 3 MIDI tracks with the sampler on it. So I like to use Ableton Simpler. And this is something I do on some tracks where there's 2 methods. We could use EQ to boost it, which is the fond method of everybody's. And this is another trick that I rarely use, but I like to do it when I want to add some knock, some more transient to a kick, without layering in the top end of another kick. And now, I know I spent a lot of time getting these kicks in phase. The first kick was perfectly in phase as it were. So I'm going to clip that, right? Now this is its own track. See this? We're actually going to put this on there. And then I'm going to just erase all of that. Okay. So now I can... Now it's a good time where you'd want to collect all and save, because you're making samples in this track, and it's going to collect it and put it in the recorded samples or whatever folder Ableton likes to put it in. It will find it there. I can't tell you how many computers I've had where I've had to transfer everything over to a new computer, and when I open my Ableton projects, I'd have to rebuild them like from scratch, which is just awesome. It was the opposite of awesome. Okay, so now in every single one of these controls, all right, you're going to minimize this, and you're going to get it up out of the way here. All right, and now what you're going to do, this is one big track here, right? We're going to go drums. It's going to make it all into drums. I love technology. Technology is great. I feel like, ah, man. Okay. So I'm going to take everything but C1 and take all of these, make them pretty consistent. Make them all C3. And now you can really hear that kick coming through, right? So I'm going to do that for all of these. All right. And now once you've done that, start with the bottom. Go to controls. You're going to tune up 36 semitones. The next one up, 24 semitones. And you're thinking, what are you doing? You are totally ruining those samples. Well, not really. 12 semitones. All right. Now you're going to use these in varying amounts. All right. I like to do something like this. Now I'm going to take these, I'm going to group these kicks together, the ones we just made, and I'm going to turn it on and off during this thing here. You're going to hear what it sounds like. Off. Hear that knock? It just seems like someone's knocking at the door almost, you know what I mean? Look at that consistent waveform. All right. Let's talk about what I just did there. Okay, so, all right. So what I did was I took the kick that was already in the production, right? I processed it, made it sound really good, made the kick sound great. And then after it was processed, I made one kick, one perfect kick, its own little sample. I hit it somewhere in the mix, and I just muted the track, and I took that sample, loaded it into 3 separate track samplers, right? What this is doing is it's spreading that kick out over multiple octaves. Let's look at what's happening with the frequency spectrum. All right, so this is all in the kick kit, I guess you could say. Let's go to it now. All right, so I've got this soloed right here. Let's grab a plugin, Neutron 4. It'll have a frequency map on it, and you can just look at the frequency spectrum right here. Look. See how that kick spreads out across the whole spectrum? Look at this now, without it. It still does, but now watch. You got significantly more stuff up here. Now when I go to boost something in like the...
The bag, you gon' throw you spoil, you ride, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, LA niggas, big paper, how you live in the club on the weekend, niggas putting in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. If a player can't drop the bag, you gon'
Now, I've turned ozone off quite a while ago. This is my pre-master. I'm going to turn it on and see how it sounds. Let's just... Sorry for the loudness. Okay, and now, obviously, the
should know that I'm the pit. You used to trips around the world and I ain't mad at you. Faster than the VIP, girl, if you paid, it's all that matters. Keep you straight, then I'll design it like Rihanna, but you find it. Yeah, like diamonds change the climate. I just met you, keep on trying. Hell in the pics, in my DMs that you sent. Since I'm poking out, I see how you pay the rent. The tippers ain't tripping, and they tricking if you got it. Keep your hands in the wallet, close.
Just tickling outside.
Just come out on your way to copy. You ain't tripping on what it costs, cause your man got it. You just tell him all the things you want, in the man gon' drop it. You just spoil acting like a crack, girl, you need to stop it. You spoil you riding, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up, think you got a scar.
Hello? Yeah. No problem. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. The girlfriend said something. Had to go grab something for her. Alright, let's back to what we were doing. We still got some time left. I want to finish exporting and then mastering. Okay, so here we are. Alright, let's export this without this ozone on it, because I want to treat the transients. We're going to save it first, right? Then we're going to export it. Okay, so there is a skit in the beginning, but we're not worried about that. Alright, we're not worried about the skit, we're worried about this. We're going to make an MP3 version too, because I'm going to send it to myself and I'm going to listen to it in the car. So I'll give a little rundown on everything now. All right, so basically, let me just label this here quick. So number 14. All right, so basically, once I export this into stereo 2-track, I'm gonna bring it into a brand new session, my mastering template, where I've got a lot of plugins that I like to use for mastering purposes. And then I've got it kind of laid out how I like it. I'm gonna probably clip off the peaks of the transients first, just to give me a good solid even waveform. And then after that, I'm probably going to get some gluey compression in the mix, maybe some EQ, treat the low end, I'm not sure yet. Maybe some saturation after that. Maybe some more saturation, some tape saturation in ozone. And when I start doing ozone, and I like to freeze it. I used to like to freeze and flatten every stage of the way to kind of see what it's doing to the waveform. But by this point, I've got a really good general idea of what's going to happen to the waveform. And if I need to do anything crazy, I'll edit the track in RX. Let's get into it in a second here. We're at about 59%. I think that this has been a very productive mix. We got done, we're already an hour in, and yeah, it's a good mix. Good mix. So, let's talk about the show in Atlanta. So there's a show in Atlanta, October 7th at the Atrium. Young Dro is headlining with my artist I manage, Grip the Body Rocker. There's a few other guests coming. And then we have a few different shows that he's done that I've helped set up. And we're going to put the flyers up in the studio here. So you guys are going to see them on the back wall here where these paintings are that my girlfriend made. And the paintings are going to go back up where they were before. I've got a spot up here for paintings and more up here for more paintings. So I'm going to put paintings up there. I've got a whole row around the top of my studio for that. Hold on a second. All right, I think we're about done here. Let's check her out. All right, so I'm going to go into templates here, and I'm going to go to my master template. All right, we're going to save changes. Oh man, I really like to do like a Q&A sometime, or if you guys want to do a Q&A, please send your questions to my email, Instagram, any of my socials. All right, preferably not Discord because I barely go on there because it's kind of a failed experiment at this point. I don't have enough people following me yet to have a Discord that's going to be successful. Anyway, moving forward, let's master this track. All right, so I'm going to show you what I like to do. I've only got 2 tracks set up here, and we're not going to use this gluey compressor. We're going to grab a different one. Still from Analog Obsession. No, we're not going to use Analog Obsession. We are going to use... What? Sound design. Oh, that's... I don't know what that is. We are going to use... that. And maybe this. But that's after. Okay. Exit that. We're going to delete that. Alright, now let me open up this folder here. Damn it, I really gotta find it now? Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, so I bring it in on 9. And I like to examine the waveform. As you can see, we got some out of control transients right here in the beginning. Whatever that is. I know what that is. We need to open this up. No, we're not going to save. Oh my gosh. And see, this is why I told you we're probably going to go back and forth from the mix. This is that one singular kick that I had made. For some reason, it didn't mute. Everything else is muted. That one kick. Son of a gun. Well, I do apologize for this. Now we're just gonna sit here while I wait. Drink my water. All right, I'll be back. I need more water. I am back. I am back. All right, we've opened it up. I knew it. Okay, let's export it again. This is version 15 now, you guys. All right, anyway. So yeah, I would like to do maybe a Q&A if you guys ever want to do that. Maybe send some questions to my email, Instagram, like I said earlier. I would like to do where I give feedback on your music, your mix critiques. I would like to do that. Maybe we could do a video where we kind of wrap all these things into one and we go live and do it all together. I would like that. I just don't have enough people in the live yet to do that. I mean, you guys watch it enough after the fact. If you guys all would join the live at the right time, I would be able to, or send your questions in, I'd be able to answer them. And I would even like to do bad mix advice section of this in this video too, where we where I critique bad mixing advice and explain the proper thing you should do. And it's not always that easy, by the way. It's not always one answer, all right? The reason I'm good at how do I say this? The reason I'm good at what I do is because I know how to use all of my tools. And when I find a tool that's very innovative and interesting, I get it. I haven't gotten I haven't gotten a lot of plugins in a while. The only ones I've really gotten recently are what's that? Sublab XL, the new one, but it doesn't work for this computer after Ableton did an update for some reason. I got to re-download something. There's a beta. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I haven't took the work to do it. But anyway, Minimal Audio's Morph EQ is by far my favorite new plugin to use. I use it in step with all my electronic music. I pretty much use it in every production now. I don't know of a time when I'm not adding movement with even just as simple as like a low pass sweep with a resonant, peak in it, just kind of going up at different times and whatnot. I don't know. I like to make wobbles with it. Now we're on to the mastering session. All right. Templates. Master. Save. Hopefully this opens up quick and I can just go back to what we were doing a second ago. I'm already getting ready to bring this over here. Okay, and I'm going to format this as well too. I don't think any of you have seen me format a track yet for streaming services. Normally I don't do it because I work in 48K and I don't do it unless I have a client who's ready to release their track, and then to send them all that. Okay, so now not a lot of runaway transients. Some peaks right here. Got some right here. Not a lot going on. Maybe right here. Everything else looks kind of pretty tucked in, right? So what I'm going to do is we're going to raise this till we're getting some clippage. And I want to zoom in to see what we're clipping off and if it's important.
You spoiled, rotten, and all of your partners. The way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar. And ladies, niggas, paper how you live. In the club on the weekend, niggas floating in the gears. Looking like a bag of money. Shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me. You a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money. Shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me. You a spoiled little one. If a player can't drop the bag, you gon' throw a fit. You the type that wanna brag about everything you get, but I ain't him or them lames that you used to dealing with. Yeah, you bad, but baby girl should know that I'm the pit. You used to trips around the world and I ain't mad at you. Faster than the VIP girl that you paid, it's all that matters. Keep you draped and all designer like Rihanna, but you find her. Yeah, like diamonds change the climate. I'm just meant to keep on trying. Hard as hell in the pics, in my DMs that you sent. Send some money poking out. I see how you pay the rent. The tippers ain't tripping, and they tricking if you gotta keep your hands in the wallet close to your poppy's pocket.
Okay, that sounded really nice, okay? Let's get rid of this. We're going to freeze this, flatten it, and see if it took care of all of those transients and made a nice little waveform that we like. We want to hear the transients. We don't want to lose the sound of the punchiness that they provide, but we also don't want to lose headroom over it. So, unfreeze. I gotta refreeze it again. Always, oh, never mind, I don't. Warp isn't on. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I always turn this down by 3.5. I'm not sure why. I make sure warp's off and it's on pro. And then the reason I don't do warping in master is because it makes everything sound very strange. Okay, now we're going to delete this, and we're going to grab a different plugin. We're going to mute this, turn on this now. And now we're going to grab Shadow Hill's Mastering Compressor, all right? We're going to put the sidechain filter at like 200, close to that, all right? Sidechain filter in. We're going to put it on iron because it's got some nice color. And we're going to do stereo. I don't want to mess with dual mono and mess with each side individually. We're going to just mess with it as a whole. I find I get better results that way. Now let's bring it to a dense part of the track. And what I'm looking for here is 1 to 4 dB of compression. Now, I say 4 because that's as high as I go. 2 is usually where I'm sitting at most. Okay, listen to how thin it sounds without the compressor on. Now I'm going to try this. I'm just looking for the box tone here.
You spoil your ride, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, here ladies, paper, how you live in the club, on the weekend, niggas.
Now I'm going to set my settings here and see if I like the sound of vertigo with this, all right? And I usually like a very, very low amount, and I like to do this on the sides to accent his, let's turn this on.
You spoil your ride, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, here ladies, paper, how you live in the club, on the weekend, niggas floating in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled.
Okay, so we want more of this.
You spoil your ride, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, here ladies, paper, how you live in the club, on the weekend, niggas floating in the gigs. Bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want.
And as you can see, I'm moving pretty fast through this master here. I've got a preset that I've already made for this.
You spoil your ride, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, here ladies, paper, how you live in the club, on the weekend, niggas floating in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. If a player
Getting a little crunchy there. Go back again.
shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you from me, you a spoiled little one.
Yeah, True Peak does not do that great. I used to like True Peak a lot because I would have problems with intersampled peaks. But no, I find that they're not much to worry about if you know what you're doing. And to be honest, I know what I'm doing. Let's add some left-right here to this, all right? Now, this is something I like to do when I want to add some stereo spread. So I'm going to delete this too. Go to left, delete that. We're just going to delete everything. We're going to make sure there's only one band. We're going to boost a little bit of the high end, right around 9, 10K. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to do this to channel link right. Move this over. Okay, so we got a little bit different happening, we got a little bit different happening on the left and the right. Let's do 6. Let's do 5. No, let's do 6. Right there. Okay, now we just do.
Shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money, shake it. Honey from me, you a spoiled little one. If a player can't drop the bag, you gon' throw a fit. You the type that wanna brag about everything you get, but I ain't him. Or the lanes that
crispy.
you used to dealing with. Yeah, you're bad, but baby
on
girl
base
should
heavy.
know that I'm the pit. You used to trips around the world, and I ain't mad at you. Faster than the VIP girl, if you paid, it's all that matters. Keep you great, then I'm designer like Rihanna, but you find her. Yeah, like diamonds change the climate. I just met you, keep on trying. Hell in the pics, yeah, my DMs that you sent. Since I'm poking out, I see how you paid.
Look at that. See?
See,
See, it's big here and dipping there, but that's still in the range of where it should be because it's a balanced frequency spectrum. If you're adding one to one side, you have to take away from a opposing side. Like if you're adding a bunch of bass, you got to take a bunch of like low mids out to add more bass so the bass isn't so muddy. If that makes sense at all. I don't know how you got to trial and error this shit, man. All right, so now we're going to export it, and then we're almost done, okay? We're going to export it, shut the MP3 off. We don't need it. You spoiled. Master. 44, 48, 32. All right. That's to signify 48 kilohertz and 32 bits. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to make it eventually 44.1 24-bit audio so that Spotify and other streaming services don't have to convert it down. We want our version to be as close to their version as possible. The reason being is these intersample peaks are, you saw how I was clipping off those peaks, right? Well, imagine you bring it up real close to the limiter and then you convert it down. I'm going to show you, okay? We're going to create some intersample peaks and then we're going to destroy them, all right? I'll show you all of it in RX, and we're going to do it in RX 8, I think I have, or do I have RX 8 or 9? I think I have 8. I'm like a couple back. Like, I have old plugins, man. I've been doing this a while, and RX 8, I just didn't see the need to upgrade quite yet. So let's get into it. Let's open it up. Let me take this, and I'm going to open this with RX 8 Audio Editor. Now we're going to look at this. This is pretty much the final version. So first of all, this is formatting the track. We have our master. Our master is done. So I'm going to gain down the track. I know that sounds weird. Render. 2 decibels, all right? Then I want to resample it. I've got my filter set. I've got my slope down. It starts aliasing below 70 dB full scale, negative 70 dB full scale. So that's where I have my cutoff and my pre-range, everything just kind of set perfectly to resample it. But now watch what happens when I resample. You get some new peaks that show up. It's not limited anymore. Look at this. See these peaks here? These are what's called intersample peaks, and they became actual peaks after the fact. Let's zoom in right here on one of them. See, this isn't supposed to be here. Right there. Let's zoom back out. Yeah, see, we're right on that peak there. It's not supposed to be there. Granted, let's gain this back up here. We're going to gain it back up. And now you have these clipping peaks here. See that? We're going to undo. All right, we're going to undo. Now we're going to grab a plugin. Now I have this plugin set perfectly. All right, this is what I like for settings for this. We're just going to hit preview and see what happens. We're going to hit preview up here. As you can see, I'm just tickling it. As you can see, I'm literally just tickling the top there. Just grabbing these like little peaks here and shoving them back down. So we're going to bring that back up. We're going to just render the whole thing out. It's going to take a couple seconds, all right? But this is the final stage of your music. This is getting it ready for streaming services, all right? This is what you need to do to be able to have your tracks sit right on all platforms without having one sounding maybe, oh, this one part's just a little distorted for some reason. I don't know why. This is the secret sauce to doing so, all right? This is that secret sauce. And now we want to dither, all right? We want to get it down to 24-bit. All right. We're going to limit noise peaks during silence. This is what I like here. Dither amount low, ultra noise shaping, bit depth. Everything looks really good here. And I can barely hear above, whatchamacallit anyways. 1600 anyways. Anyway. We're basically done here. Let's render this out. Okay. Now we can look right down here. 24-bit audio, 44.1 kilohertz. All right. Now I'm going to hit Command E for export. We're going to go Wave. We're not going to reopen the file in RX. We're going to export it. This is the final version. So we're going to go like this. 44.1, 24. And we're going to go Shift, underscore. There we go. And then bit. All right. Then we'll do this. Just so it's nice and fancy. All right. Now we've successfully exported that. I'm going to do the same thing for an MP3. We're going to do all of that settings. You can pause it if you want. This is 44.1K, shift underscore, 32, 24-bit. 24-bit. And then we'll do this as well. All right. All right. So now we have our 2 tracks. It's going to do its thing here and process this and create an MP3 file. Basically, we're done with this track now. I mean, obviously, I got to get approval from the artist. I've got to make sure he likes everything the way it is. He was over here last night. We did some minor edits to it, and he signed off on them. And then after that, the song gets scheduled to be released. He's even already got the album cover. I will try to put it in this thumbnail later down the road, because I do have it somewhere. Anyway, well, I mean, that's basically the video. Let's give it a listen here for a second. All right, we're just gonna play it.
You spoil, yo. You so spoiled, baby. You spoil, you ride, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got scholar, your ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend, niggas floating in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. If a player can't drop the bag, you gon' throw a fit. You the type that wanna brag about everything you get, but I ain't him or the lames that you used to dealing with. Yeah, you're bad, but baby girl should know that I'm the pit. You used to trips around the world and I ain't mad at you. Faster than the VIP, girl, if you paid, it's all that matters. You can break the now designer like Rihanna, but you find her. Yeah, like diamonds change the climate. I just met you, keep on trying. Hard as hell in the pics, in my DMs that you sent. Since I'm open now, I see how you pay the rent. The tippers ain't tripping, and they tricking if you gotta keep your hands in the wallet close to your poppy's pocket. That new fucking bag just come out on your way to copy. You ain't tripping on what it costs, cause your memory got it. You just tell them all the things you want in the million drop it. You just spoil acting like a crack, girl, you need to stop it. You spoil, you riding, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, your ladies, niggas, paper how you live in the club on the weekend, niggas floating in the gigs. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. Looking like a bag of money, shake that ass and put it on me. Now you want a honey from me, you a spoiled little one. I know you spoiled and all, the shopping sprees at the mall. You the bell at the bar, when you step in they paws. Red bottom head peg, Gucci diamonds in your ear, chandelier on your neck, brighten up the atmosphere. Close encounters with my third kind, I see you like your head, sipping on Belair like a player, trying to get out of here. Both waiting at the pier, champagne spraying in the air. You thought it was the same year, it ain't the same year. I was for you a lot different, cause my time is real expensive. Don't be asking about my business, cause we Netflix and we kick it. You a good catch, your fit in your car match. Want me to show out, let me see where your heart at. I'm spoiled too, you spoil me, and I spoil you. I'm the type of boss that you should always be loyal to. You want it all to play your cards right, and you could get it. Cause you was the Lord spoiled from the decoy in your kitchen. You spoil your right, and all of your partners, the way your paper watch up. Think you got a scholar, your ladies, niggas, paper how you
Damn. All right, guys. That's it for this week. I'll probably be on tomorrow a little bit, working on whatever. I don't know yet, but we'll find something to do. All right.